slithering.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
That's it, he's dead.
Is the Halo community actually doing a better job with MCC than 343 is? Well, I think the obvious answer to that question is no, because obviously the developers can do a lot more with their game than the modders can, but at the same time, in certain respects, I think the community does do a better job. And this isn't really supposed to be that serious of a video, it's more or less just some food for thought. So recently I saw the mod that Rejected Shotgun put out. Well, actually, several mods from him. And you know, he's just one dude. And again, I said maybe he had some help, I'm not sure. But that's just one guy. And I'm looking at the things that he's creating. And I put that side by side with 343's version, you know, the developers. And there's a little bit of a contrast. So first off, and I'm gonna link Rejected Shotgun's Twitter and his YouTube channel in the description. He's created a lot of pretty cool mods, and I'm gonna try not to use too much footage of his mods just because that's his creation, and you should go to his channel to check that out. I'm sure it wouldn't be a big deal if I did use that footage, but I'm just gonna use a little bit of it. And what I was gonna say, first off, he created a Guardian and imported it into Halo 3. I don't know how many of you seen that, but it actually looked pretty damn good. And this mod from him evolved over time, and it seemed like he was making pretty quick progress on it. And I believe that this Guardian started out as a model that wasn't functional in any way, and over time it became a fully functional Guardian that players can actually drive now. A lot of people were blown away by this. They were really impressed by this Guardian that he created and imported into Halo 3. And I could totally understand why. And when you just take something like that, which it honestly looked like it belonged in Halo, when I saw that, I was like, wow, I wish that was in Halo 3. Not only did I think it looked good and that it was fitting in the Halo universe, I actually wanted it in the game. I'm like, damn, that's kind of a bummer that we didn't get to fight that thing. And I think there was like some cut content in Halo 3 where you were actually supposed to fight a Guardian in Halo 3, but it didn't make it into the final game. If I understand correctly, I believe that was the thing. But Rejected Shotgun took it upon himself to make this Guardian and actually make it functional. It would attack players, and now it seems like you can drive it. So really cool. But then you look at Halo 5's 343's version of the Guardians, and that just does not look like something you would see in Halo. I mean, this does not scream Halo at me at all. This, on the other hand, does. But anyways, that's enough about the Guardian. The main thing I wanted to discuss was Rejected Shotgun's mod of Halo 3 ODST Slayer. And like I said, I linked his channel and his Twitter in the description. You can find all his Guardian images and videos that he put on Twitter. You can also find his ODST Slayer video on his YouTube channel. So recently, with the launch of Halo 3 ODST on PC, 343 added a playlist called Recon Slayer. And this is a playlist for Halo 3 that features the weapons that were in ODST, such as the Automag, the Silenced SMG, and the Brute Plasma Rifle. So obviously that's supposed to be some type of Halo 3 ODST themed playlist because it has the ODST weapons. Also, they called it Recon Slayer. Halo 3 ODST was formerly known as Halo 3 Recon. But there's nothing really too unique about this Recon Slayer playlist that 343 added. Yeah, it has the ODST weapons, which is awesome. It's great seeing new content for a 13-year-old game. I mean, that's awesome. I think I like the playlist. It's a lot of fun. But then I look at this mod that Rejected Shotgun put out, ODST Slayer, and well, ODST Forge. It's ODST Forge on the map Sandbox, but you can also play Slayer, obviously. I look at what he created, you know, one modder in the Halo community, and then I look at what the AAA studio 343 Industries has created. You put the things side by side, and it's just like I'm looking at Rejected Shotgun's mod, and I'm like, I want that. Can we have that one? Because in Rejected Shotgun's mod, you actually play as the ODST model. You actually have the ODST HUD. He adjusted it so it's the ODST FOV, and it's also Forge, right? He created ODST Forge as well. And when you're in Forge mode, you don't fly around as a monitor. You fly around as a fucking engineer. He made it so you fly around as an engineer when you're forging. And he even did a custom HUD for the engineer. And then he imported all these different assets from ODST into Halo 3. Weapons, vehicles. Well, actually, he didn't need to import the weapons because 343 already did that. But honestly, I kind of wish he would have done that, just because I'm not a huge fan of how 343 handled bringing those weapons into Halo 3. I mean, this is something small. This ain't a big deal, but 343, they kind of changed how these weapons perform. They adjusted things like the rate of fire, the damage dealt, a flinch for some of the weapons. And I honestly, I wish they would have not touched any of those things and just imported them exactly how they were in ODST. And if some of those weapons were too overpowered in that state, then just nerf them, tone down the damage. Because when you start playing with the damage and the rate of fire and things like that, then it doesn't even really feel like the same weapon anymore. I mean, like, the automag shoots slower, and a lot slower than it did at ODST, and there's no flinch on it. There's less flinch on it in Halo 3. So I mean, those are significant changes. So it's not the automag from ODST. It has the same weapon skin, but it's honestly a different weapon. But I'm not acting like that's a big deal. I just would have preferred them being brought over to Halo 3 in the state they were in ODST. But since we're talking about these weapons, real quick, I want you guys to take a look at a clip from Rejected Shotgun's ODST mod. I'm going to let you guys take a look at it first, and then I'll tell you why it was so funny to me after.
I had planned on porting over all of the custom weapons, which would be the silenced SMG, the automag, and the brute plasma rifle. However, 343 actually went ahead and did all of those for us, which is super awesome, and it even comes with the proper sound effects, which is something us modders would be unable to port between games with our very primitive tools.
I find that funny because throughout the whole video, Rejected Shotgun, he's showing off his mod, right? He's showing off the ODST player models, the ODST HUD, all these different assets he brought over from ODST, all these different vehicles and things like that. His engineer that you turn into when you go into Forge mode, and the HUD that he did for that. Well, anyways, he's showing all that stuff, and then he shows what 343 did. It's just these 3 little weapons on the ground. That's what 343 did. That's what the AAA studio did. Those 3 weapons right there. And Rejected Shotgun did all this. Okay. Why don't we have that? I don't understand. And I forgot to mention, Game Cheat, he also had a mod for ODST Slayer back in 2014. He had a video out where he's playing ODST Slayer on Lost Platoon, a Halo 3 ODST firefight map. And that's another thing. I think it would be really cool if you could play Halo 3 multiplayer matches on the ODST firefight maps. Like, Halo 3 and ODST are the same engine, so I mean, I can't imagine that this would be impossible, and shit, a modder will probably do this at some point. Hell, they may have already done it. And like I said, Game Cheat, he was playing ODST Slayer on Lost Platoon back in the day, so it's gotta be possible. And I understand that there are gonna be times when modders outdo the developers. I get that. But like, with this mod here, there is such a disparity between 343's version of ODST Slayer and Rejected Shotguns. Like, that's what the ODST Slayer playlist should be. You should have the ODST player model, right? The ODST HUD, ODST vehicles. It would also be cool if you were playing on ODST firefight maps, or even other modded ODST themed maps. That would be really cool, and I feel like that should be possible from what I've seen. And this isn't me being ignorant and saying, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I don't care, it's not difficult at all. No, like there's certain things that I want for MCC, and then I see a modder do those things and they're incredible, and it's like with this ODST mod, it's like, why is this not, why didn't 343 do this for their ODST Slayer playlist? Because they obviously wanted an ODST themed playlist for the launch of ODST on PC, because they put that playlist out with the launch of ODST on PC, and they called it Recon Slayer, which is what ODST was originally named. And yeah, like that would be the ideal ODST Slayer playlist to me. You play as an ODST. You have the ODST player model, the ODST HUD, obviously the ODST weapons, ODST vehicles, maybe on some ODST firefight maps you can play on, and shit, maybe some modded or just forged ODST themed maps. But all we got is just the three ODST weapons imported into Halo 3, and that's the playlist. Oh, and they upped the player movement speed a little bit. And I'm not being ungrateful. That's a cool playlist. It's fun. I like it. I really enjoy that playlist. But when I see a modder doing so much better, something that so many people want that. Like, I hope you guys get what I'm saying here. This isn't like I just saw some random mod that I thought was really cool and I'm like, oh, why didn't 343 do that? No, 343, they have a playlist. ODST themed playlist, right? So they were definitely going for that. And here comes a modder and just knocks it out of the park. Does a significantly better job than 343, and it's not even like he was going above. He didn't even really go above and beyond. He just did what you would expect if you were playing ODST Slayer. You would expect to play as an ODST. You would expect to have the ODST HUD. Like, I don't know, man. And honestly, if he saw this video, he'd probably be like, "Come on, man, cut 343 some slack. They did a good job." But Rejected Shotgun, he definitely did the better job here when it comes to ODST themed Slayer. And I know I just focused on Rejected Shotgun in this video and his two mods, his Guardian and his ODST Forge / Slayer, but I mean, I've seen some really impressive things from a lot of different modders and content creators, and it's like, some of these things just blow 343's work out of the park, and I would like to see 343 do a better job. Like sometimes I feel like 343, they see the work of these modders and themselves are like, damn, that's pretty good. That's better than anything we can do. Shit. Like, I think they're even impressed by it and know that they can't replicate that. So yeah, I guess you could say in some ways the Halo community is doing a better job than 343. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. And actually, real quick, I just wanted to say that the other night I completed my 24-hour, well, it wasn't a 24-hour game of ODST Firefight on Legendary, unfortunately, because there were some complications. But we did play, me and my friend Aaron, and my buddy Jukes Lethal was in there for like about 12 hours. We played 24 hours of Halo 3 ODST Firefight Legendary difficulty on fucking Lost Splatoon. And I'm going to be uploading that entire VOD to my channel, maybe in about like a week or something like that. But I also want to make a highlight video, but there's just so much footage to go through, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But I just wanted to thank you guys, everybody who stuck around and watched and donated, cheered, subbed, all the things. I really do appreciate that. And I was dedicated to complete this regardless of how many viewers I had. I could have had 0 viewers the entire 24 hours and I still would have done this, but it was nice to actually have some people watching. So thanks again to everybody that was there, people that just hopped in and hopped out, and people that stayed damn near the entire time. I do appreciate that. I'm going to try to do another 24 hours soon. I'm not going to wait as long as I did last time, because when my first 24 that I did was the Halo 3 Octagon, and it took me months before we did this next 24, which was the firefight. But I'm gonna do another one soon, and I think I'm gonna let you guys pick what my next 24 is. I think I'm gonna put out a video soon asking you guys to give me some suggestions in the comments for what the next 24-hour challenge should be. Or it doesn't even have to be 24. It could just be like, I don't know, beat this game on Lasso in a single stream or something like that. And yeah, I'll either pick one of the suggestions from the comments, or we'll do like I'll pick the top 10 and we'll vote or something like that. So stay tuned for that video. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody. And you know, I just realized there's no way I can end a video titled, "Is the community doing a better job with Halo than 343?" without mentioning El Dorito, also known as Halo Online. Halo Online was supposed to be a free-to-play Halo game on PC, only available in Russia. And the game was littered with microtransactions, and also the gameplay had a bunch of different abilities in it. There was sprint, there was a lot of different assets used from Halo 4, like weapon and vehicle models. Well, eventually the project got canceled, and I mean, many of us already know the whole story of El Dorito, Halo Online. I have an older video on my channel talking about it. But once the project got canceled, the community, a team of modders, took it upon themselves to continue development on the game and make it available to everyone, not just Russia. And over time, there was a bunch of different things added to the game. Several different updates. Eventually we got a mod manager. It was like an easy way to install mods. Like, for example, if you wanted Halo 3 weapon skins for some of the weapons, all you had to do was open up the mod manager. You just check off the Halo 3 battle rifle weapon skin, for example, and you just install the mod, and boom, there it is. It was a very easy way to install mods. And with the last update for El Dorito, the big 0.6 update, which I believe was a couple years ago at this point, after that update, El Dorito, Halo Online, it was looking a lot like Halo 3. You could definitely tell that was the developers' intentions. They were trying to give us as close to a Halo 3 PC as they possibly could. And I think they did a phenomenal job with the tools that they had. Also with that update came huge improvements to Forge, man. And I still use El Dorito Forge today. I use that Forge more than any other Forge in any Halo game. I love El Dorito's Forge. Halo 5's Forge is definitely the best Forge, I would say, but it's not as user-friendly as El Dorito's Forge is. El Dorito's Forge, the UI is just like it was in Halo 3, and it's very simple. Man, every time I go into Halo 5's Forge, I have the hardest time just doing the most simple shit. It's just, Halo 5's Forge is good. Don't get me wrong. It's great. It's the best. But fuck, man. Like, I mean, I could figure it out, but I don't feel like taking the time to. I shouldn't have to relearn Forge, okay? Forge was introduced in Halo 3. It was pretty self-explanatory. It was simple to use. Halo Reach, again, I knew what I was doing. Halo 4, same thing. And then I go into Halo 5's Forge, and I have no idea what I'm looking at. So, El Dorito, Halo Online. The modders, the community, they turned that into something great. Originally, Halo Online was only going to be available in Russia. There was a ton of microtransactions in the game. They used a lot of different Halo 4 assets and had sprint and other abilities. And I myself and many others were a huge fan of what these modders turned El Dorito into. So I'm going to end the video here, guys. There's so many more examples I could give of community-made Halo creations that I feel are better than the work that 343 puts out. But then this video would just go on forever because I don't like to just list things. Nah, every mod that I mention I would have to talk about for 10 minutes. But one of the main reasons that I picked these 3 different projects / mods to discuss is because these are things that 343 tried to do themselves, and the community did a better job. So, like, what do I mean by that? Like, Rejected Shotgun, he did the Guardian for Halo 3. Well, 343, they also did Guardians in Halo 5, and I think Rejected Shotgun did a much better job with that. Also, we have Recon Slayer in MCC, alright? So 343, they were trying to give us like some kind of like a ODST type, ODST themed Slayer. Rejected Shotgun did a much better job with his mod. Halo Online, that Originally, that was 343 and Saber Interactive developing Halo Online. And then the project got canceled, and the community turned it into something even better than what it appeared it was going to be. So that's why I chose these things to talk about. Like, I didn't mention SPV3. I think SPV3 is incredible. I mean, I haven't completed the mod, but from the time that I have spent playing it, it was really fun. But the reason I didn't mention that is because 343, they never attempted to create they never attempted to overhaul Halo 1. That's not something 343 tried to do. So that's kind of why I didn't bring up SPV3 or other mods. I only brought up things that 343 tried to do, and then, you know, modders did a better job. Anyways, you guys get the point. That's how I feel about this. You know, the title of the video is the community doing a better job with Halo than 343, but I mean, you know, yes and no. I mean, they are with some things, but obviously 343 has been able to do more with Halo because they're a AAA studio and they develop Halo, obviously. But anyways, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.